Do you know how the Virgin Mary actually left this world? Legend says it was not just an ordinary death, but a moment when heaven itself came down to welcome her home. Because in the final days of her life, while she was still praying near Jerusalem, the Archangel Gabriel suddenly appeared to her and brought her a palm branch from paradise. It was not a word of comfort, but a clear announcement. 3 days later, her journey on earth would come to an end, and the Lord himself would take her to be with him. Even more striking is this: the apostles, who had been scattered in different places, were also brought back to Jerusalem one after another by God's arrangement. It was as if none of this had ever been accidental, but a moment heaven had prepared long before. When Mary truly departed from this world, traditional accounts say the room she was in was suddenly filled with holy light. Then Christ himself appeared, surrounded by angels, to receive her soul. To those on earth, that moment looked like loss, but to heaven, it was more like a faithful servant finally being welcomed home. Later, the apostles buried her near Gethsemane, and during the burial, many miracles were said to take place. Some regained their sight, some were delivered from the bondage of evil spirits, and the sick were healed by touching her bier. 3 days later, the apostle Thomas finally arrived. Because he had missed the final farewell, his heart was full of sorrow. But when the tomb was open, only the burial cloths remained inside. Her body was no longer there. That night, when they prayed again, they heard songs from heaven and saw Mary rising in glory, surrounded by angels. Perhaps the most moving part of this story is not how great the miracles were, but what it reveals. For someone who truly belongs to the Lord, the end of life is never a fall into darkness, but to be remembered by heaven and personally received by the Lord. If this story moved you too, write Amen in the comments, and share this video as well to remind more people. For those who belong to God, leaving is not the end, it is going home.